So here we are, our last get together with Winn Dixie. Can you believe the book is over? I'm so sad because I love reading this book aloud. I'm very, very sad that it's over, but that's okay. We'll move on to bigger and better things, right? So we're going to go through, just breeze through our chapter summaries real quickly in just a few minutes. I do want to mention a couple things. Okay, so if you're following the schedule, today is Monday, May 11th, and your instructions for reading today are, and actually this is for the whole week, okay? You have a book report due Friday, May 15th. I sent separate information on that. If you have questions about it, it should be all on that paper, okay? It gives you 4 options to do, tells you how you need to have a visual and how you need to have a written report also. Make sure you follow the directions, okay? So that you're going to be working on that all this week. So I won't be talking to you at all. This will be it, okay? So this is what you'll be doing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday if you need to, Thursday, Friday, okay? Then also you need to make sure you've taken an AR test on Because of Winn Dixie, because that is your end of the book evaluation. So you have to take an AR test on Because of Winn Dixie, okay? You can also get your AR points for it, so it's worth 3 points. If you don't miss any questions, you'll get 3 points. If you miss a question or 2, it'll still give you some points, just not 3. Now, some of you don't have any AR points yet, so you need to boogie woogie, okay? You've known that these are due May 15th. So this, if you get all these right, it would be worth 3 points. You would still need 1 more, okay? So you should have been budgeting for that so far. You've got the login information. I sent that home like the end of March, so light a fire under your little booty and get it moving, okay? Miss Watkins will be sending home a summer reading list with you. If she may have already done so, but if not, she'll be sending that soon so that you'll know what you need to do for summer reading. And then also, now Miss Smith and I are not having you buy, we thought about having you buy Summer Solutions for Language Arts, and then we said, nah, we won't have them do that, but here's what we want you to do. Read, first of all, read your summer reading, and even read above and beyond that. And then also, we want you to spend about an hour each week on Exact Path or Lexia, or you can do a combination if you want to, but about an hour a week. That's what we want you doing, okay? Now we can see who's logged on to that stuff. Lexia sends me an update every week letting me know who's spent time on there. So we want you to do that. We expect you to do that. We trust you to do that, okay? An hour a week, more would be even better. That's up to you, but that's what we're having you do instead of Summer Solutions. Okay, we could have done that and collected it and all that stuff, but we're trusting you to do this. We thought it would be a great review, okay? All right, now, is that all I wanted to say? I think so. All right, let's just go over our chapter summaries real quickly, okay? So we're going to go way back to chapter 1. Now, this is why chapter summaries are awesome. You did it for Winn Dixie because I told you you had to, but when you're reading on your own these chapter books, it's a great idea to do a chapter summary after every chapter, because if it takes you a couple weeks to read a book, it's nice to go back over it before you have to take an AR test, okay? It's a great habit to get into. So just writing down a couple sentences about what the chapter was about and a picture to go with it. Then when you get like to chapter 20, and you might want to go review what happened before you would take a test on it. It really helps your little memory, okay? All right, so chapter 1, if you remember chapter 1? Very beginning, Opal finds Winn Dixie at the grocery store and decides to give him a home. And boy, I bet she's glad she did, because it really changed her life, didn't it? Chapter 2, Opal takes Winn Dixie to her home and introduces him to the preacher. And the preacher is her daddy, but she calls him the preacher. The preacher likes Winn Dixie and allows him to stay. Winn Dixie weaseled his way into the preacher's heart. Chapter 3, Opal has been thinking a lot about her mama and asks the preacher to tell her 10 things about her mama. Her mother left when she was just 3 years old, so she doesn't, when you're 3, you don't have a very good memory of what happened, that many years ago. And so she wants to know some stuff about her mom. It's her mom. Of course she wants to know about her. But the preacher has never really said a whole lot because I think it's painful for him to do that. But she has a right to know. Chapter 4, the preacher told Opal 10 things about her mama. Chapter 5, Winn Dixie did not, chapter 5 was funny. Winn Dixie did not like being left alone, so Opal took him to the Open Arms Church where her daddy was the preacher. The church was in an old Picket Quick store. Opal kept Winn Dixie outside, but he howled so much that Opal let him come inside. The church had mice and Winn Dixie caught one. Remember that? Winn Dixie just sat there all patient, but then saw a mouse, went and grabbed the mouse, did not squish the mouse, just held it in his mouth, dropped it by the preacher's feet, and when it tried to scurry away, Winn Dixie put his paw on the mouse's tail so it wouldn't run away. And he was just so proud of himself for catching a mouse. It's pretty impressive, I think. Chapter 6, Opal visits the Herman W. Block Memorial Library. Chapter 7, Opal makes her first friend, her first human friend, because Winn Dixie was certainly her friend. Opal makes her first friend in Naomi, Florida, Miss Franny Block. Remember Miss Franny Block at the library? She was the librarian. Chapter 8, Opal tries to get a job at the pet shop because she wants to buy Winn Dixie a leather collar or a collar and leash. But she doesn't have any money. So she's like, daggone, what can I do? And so she said, here, I'll work and I'll just sweep up and stuff and then I can earn the money to pay for this collar and leash. She meets Otis and Sweetie Pie. Chapter 9, Winn Dixie runs away from Opal and into Gloria Dump's yard. Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry tell Opal that Gloria's a witch. Them Dewberry boys. Chapter 10, now Opal is meeting all kinds of people, isn't she? Chapter 10, Opal told Gloria Dump everything about her mama, and Gloria listened with all her heart. Chapter 11, in the middle of the night, there was a real bad thunderstorm, and Winn Dixie went crazy. Opal and the preacher took care of Winn Dixie so he could feel safe. And remember, that made Opal just love her daddy so much that he cared for Winn Dixie, that he took care of Winn Dixie and said, we're going to have to, she was afraid he was going to say, that dog's out of here. We got a lot of thunderstorms in Florida. But he said, we got to take good care of Winn Dixie. Chapter 12, Opal went to Gertrude's Pets to work. She heard Otis playing beautiful music for the animals. Otis told Opal that he had been in jail. And remember, it was kind of, well, he said he'd been in jail for playing his music on the street. He wasn't supposed to be playing his music on the street. When the police officers got after him, he ended up hitting one of them. And you don't go hitting a police officer. That was a bad move on Otis's part. But I think he was just so angry that they weren't allowing him to play his music because he liked to play it so that other people could enjoy it. He didn't do it for he didn't do it for money. He just liked to play what people would enjoy. Chapter 13, Opal and Winn Dixie get into a routine of working at the pet store and then going to visit Gloria Dump. The Dewberry boys continue to call Gloria a witch. And that makes Opal really angry because she knows that's not true. Chapter 14, Gloria Dump tells Opal to judge people on how they act now and not how they acted in the past. Gloria shows Opal her tree of empty bottles. And she talks about how everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Can we fix those? Yeah, we can. Can we be better people? Can we learn from our mistakes? Absolutely. Chapter 15, Miss Franny Block prepares to tell Opal a story and Amanda Wilkinson joins them. Old pinch-faced Amanda Wilkinson. Chapter 16, Miss Franny Block started to tell Opal and Amanda the story about her great-grandfather, Litmus W. Block, going to war at just the age of 14. Gosh, he was such a young guy. That's like our 8th grade. 14 years old, going off to war. But he lied about his age because he really wanted to go to war. Chapter 17, we learn that all of Litmus's family died while he was away at war. He started his candy factory and made a fortune. Litmus lozenges caused people to feel sorrow. Now, do you think somebody could really make candy that tastes like, I think they said strawberry and root beer, but they also tasted sorrow? Do you think that's possible? I think that's kind of weird. I don't know if I'd want to eat it if it did. I don't want to feel sad necessarily. Strange. Chapter 18, Opal tells Gloria Dump and her daddy about Litmus lozenges. She finds out that Amanda Wilkinson's brother died when he was only 5. No wonder she has such a sad look on her face. Her little brother died. Of course she's sad. You never know what somebody's going through. If they're, maybe their mom and dad yelled at them that morning and it's put them in a bad mood. We just never know for sure. Chapter 19, Otis told Opal why he was in jail. He wouldn't stop playing his guitar and he hit a police officer. Chapter 20, Gloria and Opal plan a party like in the book Gone with the Wind. Opal invites her new friends and Gloria insists she invite Dunlap and Stevie Dewberry. And Opal's like, "Aw, come on." Chapter 21, Opal and Gloria Dump decorate her yard for the party. They make sandwiches and the guests start to arrive. Chapter 22, Otis arrives and the guests talk to one another. Otis is shy, but he feels welcome. Everyone hears thunder and they decide to go inside. Remember what Otis brought to the party? I brought pickles. Got some pickles. Chapter 23, Opal, the preacher, Gloria, Miss Franny, Amanda, Sweetie Pie, Otis, and Winn Dixie were at the party and it started to rain really hard. They all went inside Gloria Dump's house. Opal realized Winn Dixie was not there. Think how panicked she was when she realized Winn Dixie wasn't there. Chapter 24, the Dewberry boys showed up, but Opal was very worried about Winn Dixie. Opal and the preacher went all over town looking for him. Chapter 25, Otis was playing his guitar for the guests. Opal and the preacher returned to Gloria Dump's house and saw that Winn Dixie was there. Oh, he'd been there all along, thank goodness. And chapter 26, our last chapter, Opal went to Gloria Dump's tree of empty bottles and talked to her mama. Opal realized that her mama was never going to come back. She was sad but made peace with the situation. Opal went in and enjoyed the party with her new friends in Naomi, Florida. Now, if we were together at the end, one of the things that we would be doing, many activities that we weren't able to do with this situation, but one of them would be just, thinking about how might you have changed the ending of this story, because I know a lot of kids get upset at the way it ends. They wanted it to kind of go a different way. But you know what? Life doesn't always end real nice and neat and tidy. Sometimes it ends in a way and you just kind of have to make the best of things. So in the past, the kids have always thought, I thought her mom was going to come back at the end, but she didn't. Opal has kind of made peace with that she knows her mom is not going to come back. And so she's loves her mom, has her in her heart, but she knows that she needs to move on. Okay, so this week, today, tomorrow, Wednesday if you want to, Thursday, Friday, working on book report. Put effort into it, both the visual and the written part of it, and then make sure you're taking your AR test. And if you need to take more than just Winn Dixie, make sure you do that. You've got the link to it, okay? It's on the newsletter for this week, so just make sure you've got that. And I think that's it. That's it for our reading, okay? I hope you had a great time with it. Remember with AR, if you go above and beyond your 4 required points, you can earn prizes. I've got them all boxed up nicely, neat and organized, so that when we come together again that you'll be able to get your prizes. I'll keep track for you, okay? I promise. I've had fun with you guys. You've been great readers. I love it, and I hope that you continue to read over the summer. You have to do your summer reading, but I hope you do even more than that, okay? Do your best. Be good for mom and dad. Have fun. And then hopefully we'll get back together again. I can't wait to see you guys. Love you so much. Bye.